Welcome back to the Port Valley Princess Kitchen. I'm Beth Morgan, and we're once again looking at traditional recipes here in the Appalachian Mountains. Now, the recipe that we're going to be sharing today is a favorite among everyone in this area, cornbread. Now, it's a snowy day here in rural Appalachia, and so I think that calls for soup and cornbread. And I bet if you were to visit any house in the area, you would find that they are doing the same. It's a popular thing in this area. Now, first you're going to need a cast iron skillet. This particular cast iron skillet is Lodge. Do you have to have Lodge? No. Do I like Lodge the best? Yes. And so you can have any cast iron skillet, but I do enjoy my Lodge skillet. I've had this one for about almost 30 years. So they hold up nearly indestructible as long as you take care of them. So the first thing you're going to do is heat up your cast iron skillet. We are going to take, now I'm going to be honest, were I just doing this on my own, I would just dump in enough vegetable oil on the bottom, or lard, whatever you're using. You can use bacon grease, whatever. But I use vegetable oil. I just would coat the bottom so that it's nicely coated. But since you're joining me today, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil till it's nicely coated. The oven is already preheated to 425. We're just going to pop that right in there, and that cast iron skillet is going to heat up. While it's heating up, we're going to mix up our ingredients for the cornbread. So here we go. Now we're ready to mix up our batter for the cornbread. You're going to need 2 cups of cornmeal mix. I like to use White Lily cornmeal mix. You're going to need a cup of buttermilk. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of oil, and you're going to need 1 egg slightly beaten. We're just going to incorporate all of these ingredients, mix them up nicely, and the batter should be pretty thin. If the batter's too thick, you're going to want to add in a little bit more buttermilk. And if it is not thick enough, you're going to want to add in just a little bit more cornmeal. So let's just add all these in, stir them up. And we'll see what it looks like. Now, if my mother were mixing this up, she would be, oh, I don't use a measuring cup. And you know what? I don't either usually. I just kind of eyeball it. But for your sake, I'm using measuring items today. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that this batter is a little thick. So I'm going to add in a little buttermilk just to thin the batter up so that it's pourable. You definitely want it to be pourable as it goes into your hot cast iron skillet. And that's going to make the most yummy cornbread. All right, that consistency is much better. Much thinner consistency. And we're ready to pour it into our hot cast iron skillet and let it bake for around 15 minutes. Now I'm going to check it at 15 minutes, and then if it needs a little bit more browning, we'll let it stay in a few more. But we'll see. About 15 minutes. Hot skillet. All right, I'm just going to pour in my batter now into the hot skillet. And like I said, this is going back in the oven. I'm going to check it at 15. And I'll let it bake longer if it needs to. Yummy cornbread coming up. 15 minutes was not quite enough, so I left the cornbread in the oven for just a couple more minutes. Now it's nice and brown on top and ready to come out. Be very careful because your cast iron is going to be very hot, but it's well seasoned. Your cornbread should flip right out onto the surface and come right out of the pan like that. you have a beautiful pone of cornbread ready to be enjoyed by your family. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe to my channel, The Poor Valley Princess, so that you can receive more videos showing you all about things we do here in Appalachia.